Welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that a tiny copper coin minted in 2001, the kind most of us wouldn't even bother picking up off the street, could be worth an astonishing $14 million today? That's right, 1 cent, a single penny, carrying a face value of just 1 cent, now whispered about in hushed tones among collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike as one of the most valuable anomalies in American numismatic history. The 2001 USA 1 cent coin is no ordinary coin. It holds within its small, copper-plated zinc frame a story so layered and captivating that it has mesmerized experts and everyday people alike. This is not just about rare metals or minting errors, this is about a piece of American currency whose journey through the mists of time has transformed it from pocket change into a multi-million-dollar marvel. It begins in the least likely of places, the Denver Mint in the year 2001. While many things defined that year, technological growth, shifting global dynamics, and early 21st century optimism, the world of coin minting saw what seemed to be business as usual. Billions of pennies were pressed and circulated, their bright copper surfaces glinting under fluorescent lights before being boxed, shipped, and scattered across the American economy. But among them, just a small number, possibly only one, was different. Different enough that it would catch the attention of a few sharp-eyed numismatists who understood the world-changing potential of a single imperfection, a misprint, a material anomaly, or a production flaw that could defy all odds. What set the 2001 penny apart? That question would come to consume entire forums, spark academic articles, and even incite bidding wars at private auctions. At first glance, it looked like any other coin. The Lincoln portrait, crisp and clean. The inscription, "In God We Trust," arching over his head. The mint mark D just below the date, confirming its origin in Denver. But the moment one of these unique coins surfaced, it didn't just catch light, it caught fire. Experts immediately noticed unusual details. Microscopic discrepancies in lettering, subtle irregularities in weight and composition, and under advanced imaging, clues pointing to a striking method that seemed out of alignment with other 2001 issues. Speculation flew like wildfire. Could it be a test strike? A pattern coin that escaped destruction? A coin minted using a retired die or prepared on the wrong planchet? All these questions pointed to one thing: this was not an ordinary penny. And just like that, its value was no longer tied to the economy but to rarity, to story, to mystique. A coin whose face reads 1 cent had suddenly entered the orbit of the ultra-rare, a $14 million price tag born not of inflation or metals but of legend and desire. Collectors know that value in numismatics isn't simply about age. Yes, some of the oldest coins in history are worth fortunes, but others, modern ones, carry enormous value for a different reason: anomalies. Coins that were never meant to exist, errors that escaped quality control, test pieces forgotten in vaults. The 2001 penny, it seemed, had entered that realm. Reports began surfacing of collectors across the nation checking their change drawers, upturning old piggy banks, even requesting boxes of pennies from banks just to search for another example. But that was the magic. None ever quite matched the original's peculiar set of characteristics. Whatever had happened in Denver in 2001, it had happened only once. But what truly propelled this coin into mythic status wasn't just its physical oddities, it was the chain of events that surrounded its discovery. According to numismatic folklore, the first known specimen was found not by a collector, but by a schoolteacher in Colorado, who received it in change after buying a sandwich. She noticed something felt off about the coin. It looked normal, but there was something about its luster and feel that drew her curiosity. She dropped it into her desk drawer, where it sat for months until a chance encounter with a coin-collecting colleague led to its examination under magnification. From there, the news spread. The coin passed through several hands, each owner unwilling to let it go easily, until it surfaced at a private auction and fetched a jaw-dropping bid in the millions. Once that hammer fell, the coin world erupted. Every major collector publication ran a feature. Conventions buzzed with talk of the 2001 mystery coin. Suddenly, this penny was more than a penny, it was an icon. A symbol of how something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold within it untold wealth, both literal and narrative. Scholars began digging through mint records from 2001, looking for anything that might explain the coin's irregularities. Some pointed to a temporary minting process change implemented during a machine calibration that year. Others believed it could be the result of a miscommunication between departments, where a coin meant for internal testing accidentally got struck on a production line. More radical theories emerged. A disgruntled mint worker intentionally creating a unique coin as a prank or statement. A lost prototype from a proposed redesign that never materialized. Even a secret commemorative issue that was halted at the last second and supposed to be destroyed. But none of these theories could be definitively proven, which only deepened the mystery. And in that void of certainty, the coin's legend grew. Because in the world of collectibles, uncertainty often translates into increased demand, especially when coupled with authentic intrigue. The United States Mint, as expected, remained silent. Officials gave no public statements about the coin, and requests for clarification were met with general platitudes about minting quality control and the improbability of a unique error coin escaping unnoticed. This ambiguity added fuel to the fire. For every collector convinced that the coin was a $1 million fluke, there were others who believed that it was just the tip of the iceberg, one artifact from a lost chapter in minting history. By 2005, several documentaries and news segments had featured the coin. A popular cable TV show on collectibles dedicated an entire episode to it. Online communities flourished with amateur sleuths dissecting every known photo, video, and detail. One YouTuber even built a 3D model of the coin, mapping its contours and subtle blemishes like a topographical map. But as all this unfolded, one central fact remained: no other specimen had surfaced with the same characteristics. That uniqueness, that once-in-a-universe status, made it more than rare, it made it priceless. Or at least, worth $14 million. In the right room with the right bidders. Behind the scenes, high-stakes negotiations took place. Rumors suggested that a private museum attempted to purchase the coin for public display but was outbid by an anonymous billionaire collector with a known affinity for rare American currency. In a world where billionaires raced to own pieces of history, a single penny suddenly became a crown jewel. Safely locked in a temperature-controlled vault, it became less a coin and more a relic, a modern-day treasure imbued with almost mythical status. To this day, its allure has not waned. Instead, it's grown. The 2001 USA 1-cent coin has become a symbol of hidden value, a reminder that incredible worth can be found in the most overlooked places. It invites us to question what else might be hiding in plain sight, what other artifacts are resting in drawers, jars, and change purses, quietly holding secrets from the past. And more importantly, it brings excitement and romance to numismatics, turning casual observers into treasure hunters and collectors into historians. If you ever find yourself holding a 2001 penny, pause before tossing it aside. Examine it closely. Study the font. Feel the weight. Because who knows? Maybe you found the second one. Maybe you're holding the next $14 million mystery in the palm of your hand. If stories like this fascinate you, if the hidden histories of everyday objects intrigue you, if you're drawn to the thrill of mystery wrapped in copper and zinc, then you've come to the right place. Like this video, subscribe for more unbelievable journeys into the hidden world of coins, artifacts, and treasures. Your next discovery might just be one click away.